Welcome back, and on today's video I'll be showing you how I made $100 trading NQ as an unprofitable trader. Let's get into it. So the first thing I notice is that we have liquidity above right here on ES, and we have a 1 hour gap right here on NASDAQ. So I'm kind of waiting for a sweep on this high, and we get that sweep and we tap into that gap on NQ. So off rip, I'm seeing that we already have a SMT for NASDAQ. We have an SMT for NASDAQ, and we kind of rip down almost right away. And this is where we form our equilibrium and we form our gap. So at this point, I see that we pretty much want these lows, at least this low on NQ. So then I scale down to the 1 minute time frame, and this is us just forming the gap, this little move, and that is us tapping into the gap. As you see, we tap into the gap. So pretty much what I'm waiting for now is a break below these lows on the 1 minute, and I'd enter a short targeting this one as my first take profit, and really just targeting all these lows. So scale down to the 1 minute. Dang. We tap into this gap. What is ES doing? ES is kind of just doing the same thing pretty much, but a little bit more choppy. Right now we have equilibrium for ES. How I feel about ES is that I feel like ES wants to go up, so I'll explain what I did in a second. So we tap into that gap, and like I said, I'm waiting for my 1 minute break right here. So I wait a little bit. This kind of was like, you just had to be like a patient. Patience today was a big thing. Like the amount of times ES literally broke above this equilibrium point and I thought about longing. I mean, there's a good reason why I didn't, but I think we get our break here, right? Yeah. So we get our break, and I go short with my stop loss above this 5 minute gap, and then my TP coming all the way down here. Alright. Now, if we wouldn't have broke this 1 minute structure right here, and we kind of would have just kept going up right here, inverse this gap, I would have entered a long on ES. But I entered a short on NASDAQ because we broke that structure. 5 minute fair value gap that we're respecting. And then we had our equilibrium. I'll zoom in a little bit. We had our equilibrium. We had a liquidity sweep. We had an SMT. And 79% on ES. And this is what ES looks like right now. A little goofy. But I mean, it's more bullish, so it makes sense. So I enter, and I think I had one partial coming off right here, and I hit my partial. I go break even. The reason I go break even is because we hit this liquidity level, and on the 1 hour, we're also in 2 big 1 hour gaps. So we got a 1 hour gap right here, 1 hour gap right here, and another 1 hour gap as well right here. That's kind of why I went break even. So we go back down to the 5 minute. I'm break even right now, and I get stopped at break even. I made $100 on the day right here. But if I wanted to, I low-key could have entered a long. But how I go is if I win a trade, I'm getting off for the day. And, you know, I won my trade, so I got off. As you see, we have our gap right here. We tap into the gap. Not necessarily equilibrium. I don't think we really get equilibrium. Yeah, I don't think we get equilibrium at all. But, you know, if you just wanted to trade the gap in more of a aggressive entry, you could have entered here and longed. Well, actually, you would have longed on ES because it broke that broke the equilibrium. Dang, because you know Nasdaq's more bearish. Break the equilibrium point. Inverse this gap right here. Long on ES. Target these highs, and you would have smacked. Like I said, I mean, again, I could have taken a long, but I'm not risking it because I already won my trade. Why would I trade again? I mean, just fear of missing out if I traded again. But I mean, that's how you could have took a long or a short today. I mean, pretty much bread and butter. You know, just a little unlucky that we just went here. But, you know, that's why you go break even. That's why you go break even when you hit your first partials. I'm saying it. A lot of people don't go break even and they just get crushed. But, yeah, that's how I made like $100. I know it's not much, but I'm just trying to get funded. I'm not going to risk my whole entire account to make $4,000 in a day. I mean, I'm just not. I think it's stupid to risk a lot on your funded. It teaches you risk management and make sure your trades actually work, and it helps with your psychological mindset. A lot of people just want to rush evals and everything. I'm not that way. You know, I think if you want to do this for an income, I think you have to really sit there and think to yourself, I can't rush things. You can't rush things. That's the biggest thing. But yeah, that's how I made $100 today trading NQ as an unprofitable trader. Peace.